Are you ready to dive deep into the world of house hunting, but worried about missing a crucial detail? Today's video, I'm sharing house hunting tips and a complete checklist to keep you on track and stay informed and stress-free on the house hunt process. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Amy Clark with Crylake Realtors, your local go-to realtor for living in Memphis and the Mid-South. Welcome back. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you need a refresher, house hunting can be a whirlwind, especially when you're looking at a bunch of houses in one day, or you have a short amount of time to find the perfect house, like over a weekend because you came in from out of town. So we'll get everything together. I've got you covered in a step-by-step checklist that'll make sure you know exactly what you're looking for and what questions you need to ask. Let's make house hunting fun and straightforward. Before hitting the pavement looking at houses, there are some things you have to do first. First of all, get pre-approved with a local lender. If you need a local lender, drop a comment in the box below and I'll get you to several lenders that are local that can help you in the pre-approval process. The second thing you need to know is you need to be associated with a realtor. You have to sign a buyer agency agreement, which means I tell you what I do for you and tell you the fiduciary duties that I have to you and how I protect you in the long run. That's got to be signed. Also, it explains how commission is paid. So that's signed first. That's before you walk into any house with any realtor, or even if you go into an open house. You don't have to sign that if you go into an open house, but you need to already remember that when you go into an open house, the realtor that's there is not working on your behalf, that they are working specifically for the seller. All right, I know we've talked about that before, but that's very important that you have somebody on your side before you go looking at houses. And I know looking at houses is so exciting. It's just one of these things. But the next thing you need to know, and keep this in your phone, make sure you know before you set foot into a house what you need. What are your must-haves? What can you live without? What can you not live without? Do you need a big backyard? Do you need an office? Do you need a theater room? Do you need a game room? Do you have lots of kids? A small yard you need for pets or anything? You need to focus in on you and determine what you need out of a house and a yard and a neighborhood right at this moment in your life. If you're upsizing, if you're downsizing, these are all factors to take in, especially if you're downsizing. Downsizing is harder than it seems. When you are downsizing, you really have to let go of some things. You can't take everything from your 5,000 square foot house into a 1,400 square foot single story house. It just won't work. It won't fit in there. So give things away to your loved ones, your relatives, the treasures that they've always looked at in your house when they were growing up. Say, all right, now it's time. You want this armoire, you can have it. Come get it. That's the part of downsizing that's a little hard. So these are details, and try to avoid focusing on the ones that aren't just quite right. So a tip, keep all these lists on your phone for easy reference and so you can remember. Make a list of your deal breakers. And I've had that happen to me. My husband at one time was a kitchen designer, and I knew I could see a house by myself and I would know if he would approve of the kitchen or not. So I can walk into a house real quick, look at it, buying for myself, and go, kitchens are deal breakers for me. It's gotta have a lot of cabinets. It's gotta have a big space. I need a pantry. These are things, I'm a big cook, so I need, that's a deal breaker. 3-4 bedrooms, not really so much a deal breaker for me, but that's what you need to know, and you need to figure out what you need. Bathrooms to me are a big deal. I need a number of bathrooms in my house. So I like lots of half bathrooms, and I like ensuite bathrooms, and that's, so these are just examples of what you need. And like I said, make a list, write it down, see what's right for you and your family. So when you're looking at a house, you've got your realtor and you're like, okay, we're gonna come in this weekend, we need to see these houses. Either I'll give you a list of houses that we're gonna tour, or you're gonna give me a list of houses you're gonna tour, because you've already been on Realtor.com, you've been looking at all these things, and you know kind of what your style is and what area. You may not know what area, but you may know your style already, and you may know, oh, I've seen this one, this is the one I want. My biggest tip here is pictures are deceiving. Do not rely on Realtor.com or any other website for pictures of homes. The homes are trying to make themselves look like they're in the best light possible, and this is the perfect house. There's not anything wrong with this house. I know this is the one that I want. Well, we go see it. All of a sudden, there was a pink bedroom they didn't show you. The ceiling's painted pink. The walls are painted pink. The carpet's pink. Things like this happen. The listing agent wouldn't necessarily put or showcase the pink bedroom online for the whole world to see. So you always need to have an in-person visit or at least a video. So that's it. So we're gonna go looking through houses, but if you could kind of know the neighborhood in advance, and I'll help you with that before you come in town or whatever, I'll be able to tell you and guide you about what the neighborhood's like, what the where the grocery shopping is, where the hospitals are, and I can go through on a map with you with that, take you around a little tour before we actually come together. So that's very important. Also, when you're in the house, I really want you to have a pen and paper, take notes. When we see 5, 6, 7 houses in one day, you cannot remember. They all meld together. They all look alike. You cannot remember that this one didn't have a pantry and this one had the washer and dryer in the garage. And that still happens these days. The washer and dryer could be in the garage. So, but when you see so many houses, and I will give you all the details that I have of the house. I will give you anything that's online available to the public, whatever we have. And I can call the listing agent and I can find out extra details about this particular house. Pros, cons, little things that may not be online. So I can always give you those things. Like I said, if you loved the giant tree in the backyard, write a note on the paper, on the house, on the address that I give you so that you can remember, oh, this house had the tree and the bathroom I liked. That's okay. So this is number one. Okay, so that's just one little tip. And it's okay to take pictures and it's okay to remind yourself and take notes. It doesn't bother me any. We usually have 15 to 30 minutes in a house. Sometimes I can go up to 2 hours in a house, depending on your needs and the needs of, well, just you, depending on your needs. If we need to be in a house a little longer, that's usually not a problem. So I can always schedule the properties and we can see them, and I'll make sure that I point out things to you as well. So yes, you need a toolkit when you are house hunting. Toolkit, a measuring tape. I probably will have one in the car. I always will have emergency kits in my car, like toilet paper if we have to do that. So, but I will have things in the car and you can have things with you. A measuring tape, will your couch fit? When you are in an empty house, the houses look much smaller than when you have furniture in a house. Furniture in a house actually makes, it's an optical illusion, actually makes the houses look larger. So, measuring tape, and furniture itself is deceiving. Some furniture is very large and some furniture is not so large. So it just all depends. And the only thing that'll prevent any mishaps and having to buy new furniture is a measuring tape. My husband, I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. No, he's like, where's the measuring tape, Amy? We've got to measure this before we go buy it, before we look at it. He always wants to be very detailed about that stuff. So that's the Marine coming out in him. All right, you need a measuring tape. You need your phone. You need a flashlight on your phone. You might want to look in the attic. There's a basement. There's not really basements around here, but there might be. And you want to look in places that don't have light. Typically, when I show a house, the Mississippi and Tennessee, they really want sellers to have electricity turned on to the house so buyers can look at the house. So that's really, but in some cases, maybe a garage or a detached garage, there wouldn't be any lighting in there. So you'd want to have a flashlight on your phone so you can see what's going on. When we bought our house, the lights were out. There was no, it was a foreclosure. There was no lights on. And our realtor brought a deer light, this huge deer light, and he shot that thing up and we could see like it was daylight in the house, and it was winter time and it was dark, and He was very well prepared. Thank you, Ricky, for that. I really appreciate it. So, okay. Also, pen and paper. I'll have pens and I'll probably have paper for you if you don't have that. But we want to compare and contrast homes, like I was saying a minute ago. We want to make sure that you can keep the houses with their identities separate, so it will remind you. Inspect every house with an open mind to keep a perspective. It's easy to get swept up by the aesthetics, thinking staged furniture and beautiful decor, but don't forget to take a deeper look. Water stains on the ceilings, and I'm gonna be able to point out things that you may not know to look for. So that would be something I would definitely look for. Cracks in the walls or foundation, signs of past pet damage or pests, termite, rodents infestation, that kind of thing. These can be cosmetic issues. They can be major issues. That's why we focus on the bones of the house and we look at water pressure and hot water and things like this. But we also reserve some of that stuff for inspection time frame. So, if we're looking outside in the back patio and there's a nice, beautiful deck out there, but it may need to be replaced, or just some boards need to be replaced. We're going to look through all of these things, especially the age of the house. New construction, we're always looking at the same types of things. So I've said that before. We just always want to make sure that you're getting what you need in a house, and you have your must-haves, what you can live with and what you can't live with. And once we get our inspection, that'll clarify that process even further towards you. So one thing I want you to do, and you may not know if you don't know. So what I'm saying here is ask questions. Ask questions. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I find out that answer for you. That's my job. So how old is the well? How old is the sewer? How old is the house? Different questions. I'll know some of the answers. Some of them I won't know. So I just wanted to make sure that we get you all the answers that you need. I don't know anything about the roof, the age of it, the HVAC. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. That's why we get inspections. But ask questions and write your questions down, and we are going to get these answers because we don't want unexpected surprises later. House hunting can feel very rushed. We got an appointment here, and 30 minutes later, an appointment across town, and 30 minutes here, another appointment. It can feel very rushed, but don't worry. I can control the flow of the day. I can reschedule. I can stop and start. I can go along. We can stop and we can have lunch, and we can say, where are we? What are we looking at? Do we need to move forward? Do I need to reschedule this for a later time? That's all adjustable. So I don't ever want to make my clients feel like, come on, see the house, look, let's go. Okay, we're done. Let's go. We gotta go. We have another appointment. That's not what I want to do. I want to make sure that you are comfortable looking at a house and you get to see everything you need in that house while we're there. So I hope that my checklist was informative. So get pre-approved, you sign a realtor, you look at details, you get inspections, take notes, take pictures, look at the inside, look at the outside, and I won't rush you, and I will get all the answers that you need. Ask lots of questions. They say there's no stupid question. There's not, and especially when you don't know what you don't know. So I'll try to go through these things and tell you more than you need, but it may prompt a question. So that's one of those things that I try to do, because I've seen probably a lot more houses in person than the buyer has. So I just wanted to make sure that I make you comfortable as we're walking through the property. So thanks for following along today with my helpful tips for house hunting and how we go about doing house hunting, and helpful tips you need to remember. Writing notes, taking pictures. That's so important. That's so important. Thanks for following along with my house hunting checklist. I hope these tips were helpful. I can help you make your Memphis dream a reality. Remember, preparation is the key, and with these steps, you'll be ready to take house hunting to the next level like a pro. I'm Amy Clark with Crye Realtors, and if you're ready to start your house hunting journey or need more guidance, don't hesitate to reach out. Let's connect. I'll see you in the next video on living in Memphis in the Mid-South. Happy house hunting, hopefully with me.